breeze blowing, storm clouds moving in. Whatever's gonna happen, it's about to begin. I remember what the drunk donkey told me when he said, son, don't fear. Mike's where the page life is about to appear. Then he's gonna tell you about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you which way it's going, and if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news that they try to hide. Just click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Well, there'll always be some haters, but they don't understand that Mike's got a friend and 100,000 more across the land. Well, if you want to know it first and you want to know it right and you want to have time to plan, Drunk Donkey Nation tells your friend Mike, he's your man. Then he's gonna tell you all about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you if it's gonna be a storm or if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news others try to hide. Click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Yeah, here at Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nation Pride.
Hi, hey, good afternoon, everybody. There's our little welcome song. So I have to do that because not everybody jumps on right at 8 o'clock. So if you don't like the song, then you don't like music, because that's a good song. That was written by our buddy Andy Simmons, always hooking me up with cool music. So the dogs are eating. So all that crazy noise we have to deal with now is the dogs eating, and they'll be done in a minute. It's like they didn't know I was going live at 8. But so hey, what's up, Aaron? I see Thomas, Dale, everybody's logging in slow. We can show Hunter at least. Louis going psycho over there. Hunter thinks he's missing out. So we'll see him in hyperactive mode. They just ate their food. Let's see if they're calm or not. All right, Louis knows what time it is. This is our morning, or our say hey to the boys while we check in. This is our romper room session. Lots to talk about tonight. Hurricane is getting stronger. The hurricane hunter's out there right now, and the pressure is definitely dropping. So we're gonna dive right into it. The dogs are a little wound up. There they are. They're calming down. So there's Hunter. So welcome, Coneheads. Yeah, we're gonna talk about a possible major hurricane here. So all seriousness tonight for our folks in eastern Texas and western Louisiana. The cone has not moved much at all, and Hunter, you're not even big enough to get in the camera. All right, we're gonna let them down. They're wound up. They go lick each other's bowls, hoping to get like extra food. Now they're running away. So I'll let them lick the bowls. I'll bring it back. So hugs to the puck. Hugs. All right. First and foremost, big thanks to ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. They're our official sponsor here at Mike's Wheeler Page Live here on Facebook. So we give them a shout out every time we can. And as I mentioned this morning, Thursday night, the storm will be moving inland, and I plan on leaving ABC with a cart full of everything. So it's been a long 2 weeks tracking. What was Marco turned out to be a northeast Florida deal, which they totally were not expecting. And luckily it did fizzle out. We didn't have hurricane in Louisiana. So So, all right, everybody's good. We love you. Donkey Nation. All right, what's going on? So, our storm is definitely developing an eye. This is the latest satellite here in Weather Nerds. You can see the convection that was void earlier is wrapping around quickly. And you can see it racing in. So we have definitely the signs of this thing completing that wraparound convection, and it's off to the races as far as intensity goes. So, you know, NHC's predicted major Cat 3 hurricane. We're at that point now that we want it to peak at the wrong time, the right time. You don't want it to peak at the wrong time. All these systems, they ramp up quick. They can't sustain the high Cat 4, Cat 5 for usually very long, and so we don't want this thing peaking as it nears landfall. There is some talk in future modeling. There could be some southwest shear coming in as it approaches landfall. So that's a hope. Some of that same shear that stuck around for Marco could still be hanging around the coast. But the number one question I'm getting, it looks like it's going north. It looks like it's going west. The track that the NHC has right now is spot on in my opinion. In fact, let's zoom in on it really, really close. You know, I get it. You know, everybody's panicked and worried, especially, you know, I get a lot of people posting from New Orleans. But the tracks, the latest 18Z tracks, here's your state line right here. This little white wiggle, that's your state line. I mean, we're seeing a couple tracks to the west, a couple tracks to the east. So, you know, whether or not they put Houston in the cone, I don't know. I think their track's pretty solid right now. We've had adjustments west a little bit, and they do mention that they're still on the eastern side. A lot of the guidance, meaning they could bump the track. But we're gonna when we see a bump, it's a bump. It's not gonna be like a new cone way down here or a new cone way over here. This track is very confident, so take it serious if you live in these areas for sure. The point the NHC is also trying to make, everybody focuses too much on the cone in the center line, and I used to also. We live and die by this center line. NHC stresses time and time again, the cone is anywhere the center can go. And I might sound like a broken record, but I'm seeing people think that because it didn't shift west that they're, you know, in Beaumont, let's say, but they're in the cone. And the center is the possible path, which means the rough weather can extend way past the cone. You know, here's your winds. So if you move this up to, you know, landfall, you know, here's your hurricane force winds. That's why they draw this hurricane warning outside the cone, because again, eastern side of the system, you can see it right here. The strongest winds are off to the east, and that's where we'll be impacted, you know, wherever the cone is. So don't focus on the center so much. Just focus on the fact that the cone is where the center can go. So 11 o'clock, there'll be a new advisory. We do have tropical storm warnings all the way into Louisiana. Storm surge warnings all the way to the mouth of Mississippi. So they're expecting a lot of water, a lot of surge pushing up into that. So not good. So the eye is not there yet. It's just slowly showing signs that we could be having a developing eye. The Hurricane Hunters, I guess one of the missions earlier today, they had a little issue with some instruments. So now they're back out there right now. So let's take a look. This is live. Hurricane Hunters just found 984, but the NHC at 8 o'clock gave it a 983 millibar. So the Hurricane Hunters realized that they missed the center by 8 miles, I read. So the actual eye is 983. But the purple barbs, strong winds, you know, we're seeing that deep convection here. This is where it appears it's strengthening. This is Levi's site, by the way, Tropical Tidbits. But this is that heavy convection that I was showing starting to really come in on the southwest side. which indicates, that we could start to see some really wrapping up soon. So that's something to watch through the night, as far as that goes. So again, I'm trying to stick to the facts here. I see a lot of stress of people thinking it's going to go due north. I don't see that. We got a pretty strong high pressure system here. All the models at this point, you got to start to believe in them. Like I said, half of them are a little bit to the west of the state line. Half of them are a little east to the state line. And that's pretty solid. This is close. This system's moving pretty quick. We're talking about landfall maybe 24 hours. It's going to get close. We're going to start seeing tropical storm force winds early tomorrow. Look at this. We're going to start seeing winds possibly reaching the coast 8 a.m. tomorrow. This is your time. The earliest you could probably start to see squall lines come in with winds. So the tip of Louisiana, you can start to see winds overnight. We can start to see squall lines. So this thing's moving at a pretty good pace. That's kind of a positive. At least wouldn't have time to organize even more. So, but again, landfall is imminent tomorrow night. That's not good. All right, so here's a good graphic, kind of get an idea where we're at. We're starting to see an eye wall, it looks like. Seeing that deep convection, and the path is definitely still on the NHC track. So let me close a few things here. Slow it down a little bit. How many miles wide? That's a good question. Let's zoom out. It was about 400 earlier. This is on weathernerds.org, by the way. And there's that heavy convection really starting to bubble. Usually that, when a storm develops convection on the west-southwest side, that's what's going to start wrapping around and closing off your eye wall. So it's definitely appearing that that's happening. And it was expected to happen. We just don't want this. We don't want it to rapidly intensify on approach. So the official forecast is a Cat 3, but, who the heck knows? Don't know. At least, some of the models are showing 940, 930. So that we could have a little stronger than what the NAC is even predicting. So, but, all right, so we're going to do miles wide, and we're going to look at, I want to show the surge. So that's 350. Still pretty big. I'd guess about 350. 350 miles wide. No more than that. 350, 340. It's pretty good size, pretty good chunk. So when you draw out 350 miles, well, that would be if the center was right there. So let's do that. So if the center did go indeed here, let's say, then your that could be your rough weather into Louisiana. So again, the east side, you're going to get squall lines. These squall. Don't focus on the center. This is a pretty big system. One of the other graphics that I posted earlier. In fact, let me find that graphic because it was a good one. Showing this. Let me let it load. But this is a pretty important graphic here because we're talking 9 to 13 foot surge now across a big chunk. They have it listed from Sea Rim State Park to the intercoastal city. But then we still have 7 to 11 to Morgan City. So 10 plus foot of surge is nothing to mess around with. And it's going to reach inland quite a ways. Here's a graphic I put together earlier that shows how far inland we could possibly see surge. All the way to Lake Charles, we could possibly see surge. These are real kind of worst case maps based on a Category 3 hurricane, but these are also put on the NHC's website. So we're going to see surge. Could be crossing parts of Interstate 10. So that's this, major hurricane coming, serious stuff. The links, a couple of links that I added here. I got the emergency management for Texas on here now. They have a whole page dedicated to Texas evacuations, etc. That's here. Then I have Louisiana emergency management. So I have both the states on there, and here's all the links. I should probably change that link. But anyway, there it is, emergency. Then I also added all the traffic links, like I said I was going to do. So these become very helpful once our storm comes, because A, if you evacuate the last second, you want to find out where the traffic's at, and B, when you're trying to come home, you want to make sure the roads are passable. And we found that out with Florence. People couldn't get home. We had so many roads flooded from Florence that those maps were vital, because people, Interstate 95 was shut down. People going, going home, going north, they had to find alternate routes through back roads. So those type of, 511 is a great site to, or just type up traffic maps, and those are things to plan on if you're evacuating too. You might want to stay away from Interstate 10, because that's going to be really close to ground zero, and stay maybe more diagonally away, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'll make sure tomorrow. Wave map, Shelly, what's up? I'll make sure tomorrow I will add a lot more pertinent links for you guys. So here's the latest spaghetti models, and like I said, they're really, we do see some outliers again to Texas, but those are the Euro ensembles. The actual main model runs are zoomed in here, and tropical tidbits are pretty much smack dab down the state line, either side. So it's becoming a little clearer, if that makes sense. Here's another great satellite on Levi's site. Anything coming from behind? Well, there are. I had that link, Rebecca, the ships. Yep, I got that link on there. I-10 is already bumper to bumper. Good to know, Chris. Bad to know, but good to know. So this is live satellite, and you can see it, man. We're getting the look. Definitely bubbling here. This is a big hot tower cell here growing on the southwest quadrant, and might be stronger winds developing. And I got all these links on here. I got tons of links. Of course, we use Levi's a lot because he's a fan of our site, and I like to support him. Here's the rain maps. They're inching into the red now. Look at that. Here's your state line. Look at that. Just east of possible landfall. Even if this was landfall or what, 10 to 15 inches predicted now, starting to creep into the coast. And we could see 6 to 10 all the way up north towards Arkansas. So the effects of the storm are far-reaching. In fact, power outages will be imminent, like this here. They'll probably draw something like that. They'll probably say likely, like this, if I can fit it. And they might do like maybe this, probable. I just put a P. So those are serious. These are definite facts. We're going to have power outages. We're going to have tornadoes. We're going to have squalls coming in off of the Gulf that are going to be intense. And these squalls can make their way all the way into Louisiana, possibly even to Mississippi. And then when they enter land with a little bit of dry instability, sometimes the threat even increases higher up off of the coast. But again, most of these are on the east side of a system. West side definitely gets less of the big stuff. But like I mentioned this morning, with Isaiah, we had a whole run of tornadoes that caught people off guard. And they, as the storm went this way, we had tornadoes galore all the way up and down the east side. So flooding. So the hurricanes twofold with rain. All right, so here's the other thing. So we got hurricanes surge, and then you add inland flooding from freshwater. So you have a double whammy with systems. You have the surge, terrible enough, but then you get the inland flooding. I guess only positive news is that this is not going to stall like a Harvey. No models are showing this to stall, so we're not going to see, those 20 plus inches of rain that. Well, they had 50 inches of rain, but a lot of questions on Houston. I noticed the Weather Channel was hanging out in Houston a lot. Houston, you're on that. You are so close to the line where you could have a lot or nothing. And it's probably really scary for the Hurricane Center to not include Houston in the cone because of evacuations and whatnot. Again, I'm not seeing any models tonight really force a shift that would include Houston. Now, they're reminding you, obviously, look, very, very close to the line. So if our system did hover kind of like where the Euro's leaning with a lot of these ensembles, even if the NHC didn't adjust their cone, you're close enough for sure to have these hurricane winds. So again, look at hurricane winds always east. So it's just hit or miss. I mean, you're not in the cone. I don't believe you're even in a hurricane watch or warning. Actually, I have to check. I think you're right on the edge. I posted that earlier too. Let's see. Let me go to. I'll tell you who's got good graphics. Well, let me go to Weather Nation. They have good ones too. Weather Nation has inland. Which I should have posted these earlier. Sometimes they have them. So I'm like, oh, here we go. Look at that. So you're in a tropical storm warning in Houston. So that's important. I need to post that. These are great. This is my only beef with the Hurricane Center is they don't show any inland effects. I hate it. They draw that little line on the coast, boom, but they don't show anything inland. And that surge that goes up is pretty intense. So I'll post that here in a second. So that was a lot of talking. I'm going to slow down a little bit, read some comments. Trust your eyesight, yeah. So again, let's stop it at my page. I got all the graphics you need on there. So I try to update it all the time. We have a lot of supporters that are in the industry that deploy thousands of crews to assist before, during, and after. And I always try to focus on, them. One I have not yet is actually very pertinent to what we're going to see is surge. Now check this out. So when your local area, because Oldsmar does it all the time, sandbag pickup. So Floodbud here has this cool little setup that is an easier way to, and they got a little video on here, but basically it's a new way to protect your doorways and stuff. So it's great. I'm happy to share it. Nick Christensen, thanks for being a part and helping people out. This video shows how easy it is to install and how it works, man. So it's pretty ingenious. So check them out. Saves your back for sure. I one time helped people pick up some sandbags, and it sucks. And if, and you can store that too. You can't store. How many times in your neighborhood you drive around and after a storm and you see sandbags lay around for 6 more months? And I mean, what do you do with sandbags? You go get them, and I see them on everybody's basketball hoops and the side of the house. And sandbags are great. I'm not knocking them, but it's just it's cool to have. I need one for the back porch because our pool is so close to overflowing sometimes that it's creeping into the door. So I think that would be a cool thing because, man, I wouldn't know what to do. I don't have any sandbags. So anyway, but again, all the sites, check them all out, man. Most of our supporters, I love sharing because they help people and all that good stuff. So anyway, Laura's not turned. Don't forget we're on YouTube, by the way. Shelly says, and what's up, Shelly? By the way, Shelly helps me all the time. But we're on YouTube right now. 419 YouTubers. So hey YouTubers, It's cool. All right, so some of the we can look at the key messages. So I look at on my site. I have key messages. These are key, obviously key. But every 5 o'clock, 11 o'clock, they have new key messages, and I like they're kind of new. They did them the last couple of years, but they're key points on different topics. So, we're at the point too. I stressed this in our little supporter chat room, by the way. We have and I was on the Tom and Dan show. Did y'all catch it out? Tom and Dan. But we're so close to this thing that you shouldn't be getting any advice from anybody now except your local storm officials and National Weather Service. Hurricane hunters are out there flying, which is so fascinating. These guys and girls, man, they're I thought they only checked the winds, but look what they do. This is a huge mission. This mission is more important. This is on Tropical Tidbits, by the way. This is more important than the one they're in now, because this is measuring the strength of that high pressure system that is steering Laura, and it's verifying the high pressure system. Because if that high pressure system weakens and starts to retreat back to Florida, then our curve could come a little sooner. If the high pressure strengthened, it would push it more into middle Texas. So these are real time numbers being fed into the models, and it's invaluable. So all the early speculations that we do and stuff is fun because we're looking at models, thinking but now we're in the window that they take over. And the number one link you should click on my site if you're very curious. Right here, National Weather Service Active Alerts Map. This is weather.org or gov, weather.gov. And you click on your county where you live, and you will get exact information that you need. They all have their own individual graphics, wind graphics, flooding, wind, what to expect, surge. So, here's Lake Charles. Potential for major flooding rains. Here's your rain forecast. I just happened to click on Lake Charles, but look at this. Potential for 110 miles an hour winds. Now, this is an official graphic here. All right. So this is just Lake Charles office, so it doesn't obviously show around. But purple, 110 mile an hour winds stretching northward. Not just coastal, northward. And I can't stress that enough. They focus so much on the coast, they don't realize inland you're going to feel this. I mean, I'm telling you, Hurricane Charlie, it happened. Everybody over where I live evacuated Orlando. That's like, 60, 70 miles away. They had the worst damage there than some people had coastal. So storms don't just die when they hit the coast. They continue northward. And so anyway, go back, back to that point. In a National Weather Service, weather.gov to get your official forecast. And again, I got emergency management for Texas, emergency management for Louisiana. They'll tell you all the local information that you need on that. So again, the number one question I'm getting, this is not going north to Louisiana. This is not going due west to the tip of Texas. So state line seems extremely consistent in all the modeling. In fact, let me look at the latest. I probably just ran. I haven't even looked at it yet. So I got to save this graphic. So I want to post that when we're done. Let's look at the latest 18Z euro. It's hard to find. There's only a couple sites that pay the Europe people to do it. What are you laughing at?
The Europe people?
The Europe people. Julie's mad at me.
That's not what they're called. They're not called Europe people.
Sorry, Europe people.
They're called Europeans.
Europeans. The European model. There you go. I had to reboot my chat. So listen, too, another thing, so Texas isn't really like my market, and we're getting a lot of new people. So If this is a Florida storm, we'd be hitting like 20,000 right now, but it's not. So a lot of Texans, we love you. I know nobody in Florida's watching because they got nothing. Why would you be watching a storm not coming to Florida? You watched me for a week leading up to 2 storms that didn't materialize. Dorian, Isaiah. Well, Dorian kind of did the same thing in Matthew. Florida has more hype buildup. Everybody kind of not freaking out, but freaking out. And then nothing happens. Like Isaiah. Looked like it was coming, and even Marco looked like it was gonna clip through the state. Didn't happen. So Floridians ain't watching me, and you get a pass. So Adam, hey, I just saw that. Good for letting me know that 981. So we just got a new pass on the Hurricane Hunter RC. Live data happening fresh. Oh, they haven't posted it yet, but it's probably over here. Yep. Oh, yeah, I see it. 980. Yeah, 981-ish. 981.1. Almost 980. So there you go. There's that. Let me give you another alternative site. If something were to ever happen to Levi's site and the data wasn't coming in, sometimes his site crashes. There's another site I use, Cyclonic Weather up here, and he's also got the data. Now, his site's slow, and I saw him posting. And this is what could happen to Levi's site. So it's good to have multiple weather sites because everybody and their brother is crashing these things. So this is not a good site. So good thing Levi's is working. Helen Sausage, what are you guys talking about? So, Hurricane Andrew, yep. Jill. I know we get people from the Cajun Navy. We have a big fan here with the 50-star search and rescue. We're heading out. I know Brandon Clement's going to be letting us share his videos. So you'll be seeing some fresh actual videos from what's going on there. And I'll be here all tomorrow night streaming with you. A couple other important links. I show it all the time. I won't talk about it all the time, but the NOAA Weather Radio links, you can listen to your local office here, and that's very important because if you lose cable or something and you're on your phone, let's say, you can access the NOAA Weather Radio here for your area. Important to know. But a couple other things here that's driving our system. Let's look at what's happening. So we got kind of an anti-cyclone setup, they call it. Just a big dome of calm weather, and you can see here the same graphic I drew earlier. We have a very low sheared environment right now. This shear up here is what was a little bit farther to the east that tore apart Marco. So what this is kind of going along with it. What the NHC is hoping is that when our system shows up on the coast, it might hit some of this shear. So that's a big question mark the NHC is talking about is as it nears landfall, will there be any more shear here to at least slow down any last minute strengthening. So that's a hope, but Hanna didn't do it. ECE didn't do it. So I don't know. This thing gets enough core development, it'll be tough. So my only worry, like we saw with systems, not saying it's going to be a 5 for sure. Don't quote me on that, but I'm just saying some of the strongest hurricanes to ever hit the United States were only tropical storms 3 days out. Peaking at the wrong time is not a good thing. So, this is what we're watching here. We're watching a developing system. So you can really see that convection starting to wrap around quick. And it won't be long we have a distinct eye. It does appear. And we'll see. So anyway, what else? Yep, line workers for sure. Lacey, lots of line. That's another part of the industry I had no idea it existed. I had no idea. Thousands of line workers show up for storms, and it's amazing. It's like an army. And I know most. I don't really know any personally, but it's an army, and it's you're part of something. I'm sure they're proud, hardworking, beer drinking, Hey, Jenna, yes. But the confidence is the high is going to be very strong. So, we're not seeing hardly any, even the ensembles on the euro shifted back north a little bit. So, this is on weathernerds.org. You can see the latest euro and GFS ensembles. So it wasn't that long ago that we saw a lot of the European ensembles down here, but in the last run, we've seen that turn with most of them right down the middle, maybe a tick west of landfall. So usually you take the average of the ensembles to get you just the right straight down the middle is kind of what the NHC does. So the big question last night was, like we said, a lot of the Euro ensembles were way south than everybody else. The important trend on the Euros, it's doing this turn now that everybody else is doing. So that's bringing up the confidence that the landfall is very confident as far as the cone. I think you can't predict the exact spot this far out. You can guess and sound like a hero, but I'm not going to guess, because somebody will take it and evacuate, and then they'll sue and get my dogs, and then I won't be able to have a beer anymore. So here's your GFS ensembles. Look how tightly clustered these are. Incredible agreements that this is smack dab down the state line. So we're not seeing any crazy. So confidence is high. I don't want to spend too much time on that. I believe the confidence is high. I don't. We saw little ticks to the west. NHC knew what they were doing. They talked about it this morning. They wanted to go more west, but then they were worried about a flip-flop back east, so they just kind of kept it there. And guess what? The models that were trending a little more west trended back kind of a little bit. So now we're right there in the middle. And I showed this earlier on the these are and another model everybody stresses, don't use. maybe it's been right in the past. I don't know. But if you want the gloom and doom model of the century, pull up the NAM. The NAM is showing 909 millibar on approach. So the NAM, everybody laughs at the NAM, but there's not. I mean, come on. That would be that if that happened, we'll never laugh at the NAM again. But the location is just a tick west of But I had to show it. Just put it out there. The main players. GFS high resolution here on Levi's site showing 959, 960. Landfall just a tick east of state line. Here's your state line right here. So just a tick east of that. The HMOD, H-Wharf kind of adjusted their east-east thinking. Now they're kind of in the exact same spot. This is the H-Wharf right here. Look, almost just a tick east of the state line, a little stronger, 947. This is a great model on Levi's site too, because look, all this whipping around now. This is a great example of why the eastern side. Now, see, remember I was telling you in Houston. Now, look, if this were to happen, look, you might get a stray shower out of this thing. Now, if this thing's obviously shifted this way a little bit, but I'm just saying, Houston, you're on that weird edge of like, oh my God, what do I do? But you're not in a cone. We'll see. This close to the game too, the cone usually shrinks. They start to shrink the cone. If they shrink the cone and Houston's farther out of the cone, then I would breathe a little more sigh of relief. Little sigh of relief. But this is a great map because look, it shows you this building of squall lines. Landfall, unfortunately, is going to be like midnight, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Things start to go downhill tomorrow evening, probably still sun up. But as our winds blow here, two things happen. The size of the storm is the same; it's symmetric, but very dry. Land interaction. It's hard to get our squall lines to develop over land. That's why they typically are using up the waters to develop and get stronger. and they get stronger. And as they approach the coast, we get this high impact area of storms. Obviously, this is bad. That's the 150 mile an hour wind gusts possible. But these things, tornadoes, and these will last. Our storm will be way up here throughout the day on Thursday, and we'll still have these storms coming in. So prepare for a pretty stormy Thursday. Center line east going in, Louisiana. So it'll be a rough, stormy day. In fact, let's take a look at. We'll just stick on Levi's site because it works good. One of our dogs is snoring. I don't know which one. I don't think it's Julie. She'd yell at me. The GFS really doesn't show high resolution very well. Well, it kind of does. So this is kind of what I wanted to show. This is like 1, 2, 3 in the afternoon noon on Thursday, and look, we're still seeing energy out here. So this is nearing Thursday afternoon. Could still be a hurricane entering Arkansas. Believe it or not, the storm does not weaken that fast, and we could see an Arkansas hurricane. Go figure. Oh, thanks, Shelly. Buoy link's not working. Where is my buoy link? Way down here. I wonder why it's not working. Oh, nope. That's the MJO. Let's see. Buoy. Well, that link's working. Show me which one. National Buoy Center. Let's see. Maybe the National Buoy. No, I don't know. Send me the link there, Shelly. So, man, a lot of that makes sense. And another little local tidbit here I thought was fascinating for me waking up and seeing that the Florida West Coast was under a heat advisory, and, just proof that we have a high pressure over us in Florida. And that's part of that high pressure system that's driving our system, westward. So let's take a look at the hurricane hunters. And so again, I showed all these links. I got pretty much everything. If you want a couple other links too, I got this. All right, so I got the Sierra map. Surge. I emailed them a couple times today, and they're updating frequently. So, if you want to see where you live, surge values here, it's a great tool. You want to see the microwave imagery? I get this question a lot. This is the core of the system. And we might have to adjust it, actually. I don't know if it's going to come up. 48 hours? Yeah, that's it. So this just shows the core, and then it's really starting to show organization. See that? So there's, the history. People like that one. I got this Laura Products. This is a great one. I show this all the time. You can really click on things like shear, vorticity, dry air, a little bit dry air ahead. So this has got a million options on it. Water temperatures, sea surface temperatures. Another fascinating thing too, we're showing up on the high resolution satellites and stuff. But there's definitely cooler water. This is where Marco went. So we have a temporary little cold pool of water. Not a lot. The surface temperature is there, but the it's over top where Marco was, and there is proof that there's a little bit of upwelling here. So, when it wakes up in the morning, it'll have a lot more warmer water on final approach. So there's that. All right, I'm going to slow down and read comments now, if that's possible. At least it's not a Florida storm, too. We'd have so many comments that the chat would crash. Hey, there's Kristen. Kathleen, how's it going? Lift you a ladder. Coolest ladder I got are those collapsible ladders. Like, that click, like you can carry it. It holds my fat ass, 250 pounds. I get up on the roof on it, but it only takes like this much room. It clicks out everything. It's really cool. Google collapsible ladders. It's the awesomest thing ever. Hey, Betty, look at that. Look at that. People helping people. Betty, pets, such a huge thing. I have 2 links I added today. I went through this. We talked about it this morning, but I have pet disaster prep and pet safety in storms. Huge part of storms is understanding what kind of steps you need to take with your pets. So read those links. One of them's from Humane Society. One of them's from the Red Cross. That's not the right one. This one. The hell. Anyway. Oh, I got it mixed up. Oh my goodness. I'm glad I checked. I added a new link today, and I copied this one and didn't update the URL. So I always find, okay, I got to fix a buoy map and the pet map. Man, it worked this morning. So it's, I don't know how long. I probably haven't been there a couple hours. So that's why I have 2 pet links. So Greg, now it's going to slowly start turning north. Remember too, strong systems usually pull north. So that's what the hurricane hunters are looking at. They know that, they know what the upper air pattern is and where it's going to become a little weaker, so that the dominating system of Laura will find that weakness and eventually pull to the north. And yeah, you can see it with different maps too. Storm Prediction Center has a cool tool here that you can look at things. And let's see, trying to get the overall bubble here, but we can look at different aspects of the atmosphere and look at 6-hour ahead projections. And I showed this the other day. But the high pressure, is definitely in place. There's a weakness coming down that's going to pick it up. A little bit of shear possibly before landfall, but there is a weakness here, and it's going to be, following that Bermuda high. I mean, it's fairly confident. So I think the biggest thing to watch at this point is going to be how strong it can get, because everything else is pretty solid in my book. We don't want to see this eye seal off. It's still getting a little dry air. You can see it right here. It's still not closed off yet. So it's trying, but nothing yet. And it's not the most impressive looking system. We haven't had a very impressive, sexy looking hurricane in the Atlantic side this year for sure. They've all been blobs. So the official forecast, and there's when the sun went down. So and you can see that last minute blow up big time right here. You can really see it actually right here. Let's see. So we did have that big explosion of convection right before the sun went down. So we'll see what it does overnight. So, all right, let me see what you guys are saying. I'll leave it up. Storm surge for Galveston? Sure, that's a good question. So here's kind of one map. Could be 3 to 5, 6 to 9, depending on, Galveston Bay, 3 to 5 foot. That's current projections from the Hurricane Center. Another link that they got is very useful. If you go to the site here, Storm Surge Inundation, and their site is, I think it's their site. Sometimes I'm sure everybody and their brother's on their site, but this is a good tool that they did. In the past, they never really colored, but this is based on current storm track. So Galveston, I mean, you guys are all obviously on the western side, so the current track isn't showing anything too crazy. So I like that one a little better. So it's showing those big numbers, but it's this is the little charts down here. So maybe one, I don't know, whatever. But it's a great tool. Obviously, where they're worried about is inland, where we could see surge reaching far inland. I mean, that's a good bit offshore. Lake Charles. You know, I'm not familiar with Lake Charles, but you know, there's a lot. You know, all this water is going to get pushed up, and lots of areas potentially underwater. Even stretching over to Beaumont. So between Beaumont and Lake Charles, you know, those are definitely the two spots that keep popping up as big cities. Either side our storm can go on. So those are big stories happening, right? Go slow. I can go slow. Yeah, Jennifer. Well, I didn't. There's really nothing coming. I'm not gonna worry about it. The only thing. So listen, back to the model question. Seriously, I got 3 of the main players right here: GFS, Euro, and CMC. Everything you need to know. You can just click on one. They go right to Levi's site. You go there, and then you just hit play. And blue pressures are blue pressures. Low pressures are blue, and those are usually systems that you want to watch. So there's a Euro, and then, you know, we're looking down the road. There's off and on signatures of maybe a wave. The end of August, I showed it last night. Very weak signature. Too far away to even consider worrying about it. It actually fizzles it out. There's another one behind it. I mean, it's September. We're going to have waves. It's very normal. So, but we're not showing any developing waves. And ironically, this is crazy, but all the models are showing that Laura is going to reemerge and possibly be kind of tropical-ish still when it exits. So Carolinas and Virginia, you could actually get remnants of Laura as it passes through, which is crazy to think, but we'll see. Let's look at radar. Take a look. So as Laura comes ashore, here's what happens. Look at Laura's going to cut across. Look at that. So Virginia, this is going to be over the weekend. This is Sunday morning. So here's Saturday morning. There's Laura and trained in a frontal system. Still got scary isobars. Not really scary, but might just miss the North Carolina a little bit. The last few runs is kind of trending more to the north, but look, it's going to emerge off the Virginia coast, possibly under 1,000 millibar, 988. It's crazy to think, and then it's going to race off. So, you know, if anything, we could see. Let's zoom in on Virginia. You could see some nasty weather, possibly later part of Sunday into Monday, as this exits, as Laura exits the coast. So it's man, it's not going to show you coastal though. Let these all load. Yeah, that's too far away. Well, we can look at it on a windy site. So, you know, think about that. If you know, coastal plains, northern North Carolina and Virginia, Sunday, right here, we could have some remnants of. Look at that. So, look at that. So Virginia Beach. Okay. Everybody, Emily's taking a shower, just so you know. And then you still got to show them your hair. Oh, I got to show you this. Look at this. Oh my God. All right. So this is tomorrow night. Look at this. Tomorrow night, big storm. Hook me up with their fueled coffee. 0 calories. Ooh, I'm liking this already. Ooh, scary. So tomorrow night's landfall. I plan on staying up for landfall. But look at this. This is 500. This is 250 milligrams of caffeine. Look at that. I feel like Tim Taylor. So the other all 250. So they're just different flavors. So that's my drink tomorrow night. But But this is interesting. I don't. That's crazy. So that's been showing up. A lot of the wind maps have been showing. So you could wake up to a windy Sunday morning. This is 6 a.m. There's your gust map. That's crazy. Look at that. We could have some serious wind. Paul Jeanette, are you online? Look at that. Leftover. I think I'm going to post that too. Because, hey, that's people's weekends right there, you know. You might have no idea that's coming this weekend. If you're planning a boating day out on the beach, Ocean City, you might be, oh, crap. So all right, everything's good. I rambled on enough. There's a lot of I don't want to just start talking in circles, but so we're gonna have an update at 11 o'clock. Not expecting major changes. With I've been working too much. My garbage can's overflowing. I'm stacking bottles of Mountain Dew and water. I got this little pyramid going. But so new advisory 11. We're watching hurricane hunters. Luckily, that eye does not look like it sealed off yet. That's good news. It's trying. Starting to get that big convection though. This is pretty big. This eventually wraps itself around. So that's interesting. All right, let's go to Twitter real quick, as I always do. We'll end tonight. So Levi's saying they're seeing almost a 2 millibar drop per hour. That's a lot. That's a scary looking picture. That's starting to look like a hurricane. For sure. Let me share that one. So anyway. Oh, here's a good one. Dakota Smith. We have a lot of fans. He always posts these amazing lightning shots here of our system. So, all right. Well, thanks. I got Shelly helping out. Phil, Matt, there's no trends developing, buddy. It looks like it's right on pace for that state line. Little to the west, little to the east. I mean, the NHC cone seems locked in. We'll see what they say. They're getting data now that the models aren't getting yet. They're getting fresh hurricane hunter data that if that high breaks down or gets stronger, they're going to know it before the models know it. So at 11 o'clock will be important because they'll have fresh hurricane hunter data before the hunters do. So, but yeah, thank you, Shelly. Yep. We're thinking of all our fans. We got a lot of fans that live in Texas, so we're right here with you guys. I sit here 20 hours a day, literally, making sure everything's working. The app is running strong. It was down Sunday morning, first time ever. But it's working now. We're on Twitter, Instagram, and you can also catch all the videos on the app, and it's working good. I even put my morning quickie on there, so you can go back and watch these things too. So even the lives on there after it plays, it goes posted. So that's that. Just check out the site, and thanks to all the line workers and Lodging Solutions heading out there. I'm sure all of our fans that are in the industry, this is their week. Insurance adjusters, it's like a whole slew of people going. So all right, have a great night, Robin. Yes, thank you, Betty. What's next, Barry? There's nothing confident yet to talk about. The only thing that's confident would be the Global Hazards Tropics map here, which is showing 2 waves possibly out in the Atlantic. One wave, September 1st timeframe, that's the one I was showing. And then they're even saying the possibility the following week, September 2nd through the 8th. That's just basically telling you it's September and expect a wave to develop. That's just telling you that. So there you go. I'm gonna go watch the Rays. Oh man, there's a hit. Is that a replay?
Yeah.
Who was that?
Hunter Renfro.
Hunter. Now that's a kick-ass baseball name. What is it? Do we win or are they winning?
They're ahead 4-2.
We're ahead.
Yeah.
All right, go Rays. Well, that's one thing, Maryland, I don't have. First off, I don't have skinny legs anymore, and I don't know if I have a suit anymore.
But that's what made me fall in love with you is your legs.
Yep, Julie said I had great legs. Hey, thank you, Debbie. Thanks for supporting. Yeah, I try. I mean, listen, I'm not, I'm just an armchair meteorologist. But I like to think that we have a cool thing. People helping people. We're the beer drinking, drunk donkey, ABC, fine wine and spirit, weather groupies. All right, cool. Well, first thing in the morning, we'll do a live at 9:19. I'm not gonna do a quickie because I found out this. If I do a quickie now, the new NHC advisory comes out, and I don't want to spread info that looks fresh when there's a new advisory at 10:30. So I do one in the morning now because I can only talk so many hours a day. All right, we'll see you in the morning. Have a great night. Stay safe out there.